Are there any other neurodivergents out there who really struggle with reading and who aren't dyslexic? Because I'm not dyslexic, I'm autistic and ADHD. But when I was a child, I loved reading, like absolutely obsessed with it. And I've still got all my childhood books on bookshelves in my parents' house, and I will not let them throw them away because they mean so much to me. But yet somehow as I grew up, I came to a point where I struggle with reading so much. Like, it's not easy, it's not fun. I really struggle to concentrate and take in what's on the page. What my brain seems to end up doing is counting the sentences, counting the paragraphs, counting the full stops and the commas, and it's an effort of will to like override that and try and concentrate on the actual words. And there's some kind of anxiety about like, well, what if I don't take this in properly and I'll never read it again and I'll never know what's actually there. So I just end up giving up. It was a problem when I was a student. I would particularly struggle if I was in a library or in a cafe, you know, trying to work with people doing coffee shops and stuff. I think that's partly about the sensory distractions going on around me. I think it's partly because I was masking very hard, so I wanted to look as if I was reading properly. So I was almost like performing the act of reading, which sounds bizarre, but I think that's what was going on. And my partner noticed it when we got together, and he, because you know when you're like trying to read something together, or like you're at a museum or a gallery or something, and he just noticed that I read it so quickly, and he was like, you can't have read all of that, like you must have kind of skipped through it or scanned through it. And I was like, yeah, I guess I do, because some part of me kind of gets anxious, I think, and like kind of anxiously like speed reads to the end and actually hasn't taken anything in, but it's partly an effort to try and not to count words and get stuck, and but then it kind of defeats the whole point because I'm not taking anything in anyway. And ironically, the weirdest thing of all is that I work as an audiobook narrator, so I read for a living. But when I'm reading out loud, and particularly if I'm in a studio and there's someone else there, obviously I don't end up reading the same thing over and over again, because I guess I'm masking at some level, and I don't let myself do that. What can be really difficult is when I have to do the prep, which is reading the book ahead of time, and I find that really tricky. And I kind of have to trick myself and tell myself it's okay, you're going to read it again, so you don't have to read it perfectly this time. There's a lot going on. I don't know how much is autistic side, ADHD side, OCD side. Like, it just makes it impossible, and I would love to get back to reading for pleasure. So if you've dealt with any of this and resolved it in some way, I would absolutely love to know how. I miss it. I want to read, like, and you know, I really gave up on that.